Time to check my Facebook. Facebook.
The average American spends 5.4 hours on their smartphones, 45 minutes on Facebook, and opens the app 14 times a day. 45 minutes is a short amount of time, but it's more than enough time for users to gather information from Facebook that may be false or misleading. So you may want to be wary about the way you use the app. I spoke with Sarah Fryer, a reporter with Bloomberg News that has been covering Facebook since 2012 about how users should be cautious.
And when we're using Facebook, we're using it very passively. We're just scrolling through, letting ourselves be entertained by whatever information crosses our path. We're not actively looking for the answers to those questions.
According to the New York Times, in 2014, a Facebook privacy scandal involved Cambridge Analytica, a political data firm hired by President Trump's 2016 election campaign, and gained access to over 50 million users' likes, friend networks, and identity. Even user locations were available. Facebook insists that what Cambridge did was not a breach, because they routinely allow researchers to have access to user data for academic purposes. Cambridge made a personality map off those traits, created an audience, and targeted them with digital ads, though the Trump campaign claims they never used the data. According to the Washington Post, what may have been most helpful to the campaign was the many false or misleading news stories put out by Trump supporters that went rampant on Facebook as the 2016 election was ending. At the time, Facebook was experimenting with how to slow or block the flow of fake news.
You are fake news.
But what about their ability to stop fake ads? With 45% of users getting their news from Facebook, it was about time Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez put Zuckerberg in the hot seat.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact-checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad. That's different from it being, in our position, the right thing to do to prevent your constituents or people in an election from seeing that you had lied.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Researchers aren't the only ones gaining access to users' data. It's also retailers and other apps and websites using Facebook to reach out to their audiences. People are claiming ads are popping up just moments after having an open conversation without ever searching it on your devices. Could they be listening constantly to users searching for buzzwords?
They're probably watching us right now.
Gail King sits down with Instagram's head, Adam Missouri, and asks the underlying question: are you listening to my private conversations?
I haven't talked to anybody about it. I swear I think you guys are listening.
There's two ways that can happen. One is dumb luck, which can happen. The second is...
Repeatedly, but go ahead.
Repeatedly. The second is you might be talking about something because it's top of mind, because you've been interacting with that type of content more recently. So maybe you're really into food and restaurants.
Yeah.
You saw a restaurant on Facebook or on Instagram, you maybe liked the thing, it's top of mind, maybe that's subconscious, and then it bubbles up later.
Facebook put out a statement saying they do not listen in and use our microphones at all, but use their complex algorithm that utilizes what you view, like, share, or comment on to show you ads based on those configurations. Why such issues with ads? Well, the app is free to all users. So, of course, how does Facebook make its money? Sarah Fryer lets us know.
So Facebook makes billions in revenue every year. In fact, so last year it was 55 billion. This year they're going to make more than 70 billion. And the vast majority of that revenue comes from advertising.
Putting restrictions on ads, especially with the end of the election race in 2020, would put a large hole in Facebook's well-off pockets. Here's word from Zuckerberg, the CEO, about why he believes the ads will and should stay up.
What I believe is that in a democracy, it's really important that people can see for themselves what politicians are saying.
Well, you've heard it from this CEO worth $5 billion and facing $5 billion in fines from the Federal Trade Commission over privacy issues doesn't seem to have a plan to fact-check any false advertising on any of the Facebook-owned websites. While there may be some ads that have turned out to be in best interest for users, it's best to control what you can about your info that Facebook has access to, and tread carefully when it comes to ads or stories that may come up on your newsfeed.
Be very careful.
That means it's time to start changing your privacy settings on your social networking sites today.
Because safety is sexy.
It's time to get familiarized with what you choose to share publicly or just with your friends. Delete all your personal information. Turn off facial recognition. Facebook has used it for years to tag you in photos. There's even a setting that lets you control what apps and websites use your data from Facebook. And try doing a quick privacy checkup. Just know, none of this guarantees your information from staying out of the clutches of Facebook. I'm Kayla Thompson with 106.1 BLI.